and Steph again. And this week, it's one of my favorites that we're going to do, and that's the band Queen.
That's right, we're doing Queen. So, Queen is Steph's favorite band.
Yep.
And while I love Queen, they are not my favorite band. And should I give a little history of the band for me? Well, first, before I do that, I'll say that we cheated again. Just like we did for Pearl Jam, we're going to do a top 10 because Queen is so big in this apartment. So we're going to do a top 10, and we're also going to do, just like we did for Pearl Jam, our favorite Queen albums. We're going to rate every Queen album from what we feel is the worst to the best. So that's video number 2. But this is just the songs. So I'll give you a quick history for me. Queen was one of the first bands I was introduced to. Thanks to my sister in 1975 or 76. There was Queen on all the time in her room, and she sat her 5-year-old brother in front of the stereo and blasted Queen. So I was one of the lucky ones. One night at the opera came out, boom, it was there. I ingested it. Little young to appreciate it, but I still liked it. And then when I got a little bit older, 7, 8 years old, and it was really drummed into my head, I loved it. And A Night at the Opera, without giving anything away, ranking albums, was just, it really did like shape my younger years. And subsequently lots of other Queen albums. And again, they are definitely one of my favorite bands, but probably not in the top 5 anymore. I know that's blasphemous to say in front of Steph, but now I'll shut up and let Steph talk. What does Queen mean to you?
Well, contrast to John, it would be many years until I got into Queen in my early 20s. And I think for me, it's just, once I heard Queen, they were just my band. And I think it'll always be that way, even though John thinks that's a little crazy for me to say. I think just getting into their early stuff already was just something that I really enjoyed listening to. And from the 70s to the 80s, I really do enjoy just how their sound just, transformed. And I don't think really from the beginning to the last album, they never really had the same kind of album. I mean, just always sounded kind of fresh. And even today, I think their music is just still timeless. So that's why I'm glad we're doing this now.
And we bonded over Queen. That was really one of the first things that actually got us together. Was Steph found out, I don't know, that I was a Queen fan, and she said, wow, and she said she liked Queen. I was like, really? A little too young to like Queen. Freddie died, 28, 29 years ago? But yeah, so we bonded over Queen. Maybe if it wasn't for Queen, we wouldn't be together. Who knows? But how did you get into Queen?
Yeah, for me, it was interesting. I was on YouTube one day, and I saw that Maroon 5 had covered Crazy Little Thing Called Love. I had no idea who Queen really were at the time. And then I saw the original video on there, and I was hooked after listening to that first song. And of course, great video. Love the 1950s look of the band. I delved into, of course, A Night at the Opera, which John let me. That was really the start of our friendship once we started listening to Queen together. And then it just took off, and we'll get into more things about their albums, but it just, there's just those bands that are your first, and for me, Queen, for me, it's the top of my list of a band.
Yeah. So
versatile, so talented, all the guys just wrote great songs, and musicianship-wise, they just were just killer with their, Freddie Mercury with his vocals, Brian May with the guitar, John Deacon with the bass, and of course Roger Taylor with his drumming. They were all important to Queen. They all contributed, and they were just this puzzle that they all needed to be together. And I'm so glad they were for all those years.
That's right. So yeah, Queen and Rush are number 1 and 2 in this house. So Rush, Queen. Anyway, so yeah, this was really cool to do, because knowing that what Queen means to Steph. I love doing this, and again, what Queen meant to me growing up and still means to me. It was really cool to kind of go back and listen to the songs and to rank them. And again, this is how we're feeling today. I'm sure, especially for Steph, these songs can mix in and out of her top 10 all the time. And it's the same for me, but it was really a joy to go over all the albums, listen to all the songs. I rank every single song when we do these, so it's a lot of fun. I get a kick out of it.
And it's tough because Queen has so many good songs. Even if you did a top 20, all those songs would just be fantastic. So that is to say, it definitely switches around from week to week for me. But for right now, I think this is the top list, I think. For now, I feel.
Okay. All right. So I'll start, and I'm going to go first with the songs, and then I'm going to go from my number 10 all the way up to number 1. And then I'll go first because I'll let Steph do the honors of playing cleanup with the songs. So for number 10, I have Love of My Life.
Oh, wow, no way.
Yep.
I had it too.
I had a feeling.
Oh, wow.
Very
nice.
cool. We have a match already.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to say that it was so close. Always the 10th song is the hardest because that means you're leaving off some other songs. And for me, Save Me and Love of My Life, I went back and forth. Is that number 10? But Love of My Life made it just because it's just such a beautiful song off Night at the Opera. It's about lost love. And I love seeing them live, obviously on tape, seeing Love of My Life, seeing the whole audience of sometimes well over 100 or 200,000 people singing it with Freddie is just a spine-tingling moment. So Love of My Life. What number was it for you?
It was actually number 5 for me.
Wow. Okay. I knew you'd have it high up there. But
yeah, Love of My Life is a special song. Freddie, of course, wrote it for Mary Austin, for those who don't know. And it's just a beautiful written song, and you tell it just from the heart. And just like John said, you watch those concert videos, and it just really makes the hairs on the back of your neck stick up, because that's just how amazing it was. The band just, I think all together, that song, they just put it together so beautifully. Yeah,
it's a tearjerker. Great one. All right, so what's your number 10?
My number 10 is Innuendo.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
A more recent one.
Yes, I know. I think
recent being 1991. Okay.
I thought it was interesting going back and listening to Queen from their first to last album, and I do think Innuendo did have some good songs, and you'll hear that in our video about ranking their albums. But I just think it's amazing to think that Freddie Mercury was towards the end of his life, and yet, for them to be able to put a song out like this, Freddie's vocals, I think, are great, and it's just a bit of an interesting sound, almost like a bit obscure, but it just worked, and I think that album, I think it's the first song off the album, actually.
I think so, yeah.
And again, that's a hard album to listen to because you know what was going on, but to have, again, such a rocking song, I think it just shows just how amazing Queen are, and yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't listened to it in a while.
Yeah, so that I'll be honest, didn't even make my top 50. Yeah, sorry, Innuendo didn't make it, but hey, to each his own, to each her own. All right, so number 9 for me is, and I think this will be on your list, I would think, but Sail Away, Sweet Sister, number 9 for me.
Ooh, that missed my top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I love that. So Sail Away, Sweet Sister, off the game. Brian wrote it, and both he and Freddie are on vocals, and I love that. To me, it's an amazing song, and Sail Away, Sweet Sister. Great one. Number 9.
Agree. Well, I'm going to go with All Dead, All Dead, which is from News of the World.
We have another match.
No way.
Yeah, another
awesome.
match.
Wow.
That was number 7 for me. That was number 9 for you. Okay.
So that's written by Brian May.
Mm-hmm.
And just like he picked Sail Away, Sweet Sister, All Dead is also sung by Brian May. And I do think he had continues to have a beautiful voice. And I know Freddie sang a lot of the songs, but I really appreciate the ones that Brian did. And I just think it was so important for him to do these songs. Like, I think that it just wouldn't be the same. And I know Freddie, of course, I think the best singer in the world ever, of all time. Fight me on it if you want. But
I'll agree with you. He is definitely one of the best vocalists of all time. Yeah.
But I do think, and I love for Silhouetted Sister, just having Brian and Freddie on there. They just, I think also in terms of backing vocals, I think that was great. Freddie also did backing vocals on some songs. So I think that they just complemented each other well. And as the lead, for certain songs, I just think Brian, those songs are just meant for him to sing. So yeah, I really think All Dead, I really dig it.
Yeah, okay, so we have 2 matches already. Wow. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so now I go. I'm on number 8. So my number 8 is March of the Black Queen.
Oh my God, that's our 3rd match.
Wow, look at that. Okay.
Although, for me,
wow, I wasn't expecting that to be on your list.
It was a lot higher though. It was number 4.
Wow, all right, nice.
And written by Freddie Mercury, but I'll let you go first.
So I just have a couple notes on this beautiful proggy song. I love Queen. I think when Queen at its earliest, most proggiest, this song just kind of puts it all together for their proggy side. March of the Black Queen, and I mean White Queen on Queen 2 also is an amazing song, but March of the Black Queen, awesome. Freddie started writing it before Queen was even Queen, which is pretty amazing. And I think, again, Queen 2, without giving it away for the second video we do, is just an amazing prog album, in my opinion.
I think the first thing that hit me, that song is very complex. When you hear that, I mean, the tempo changes, and there's interviews with the band. They said this was not an easy song to put together, let alone do live. And I mean, they wore out the tape, or almost did. And I do think that this was the precursor to Bohemian Rhapsody. I know that Killer Queen, I think really put Queen on the map, really like opened them up to a lot. But I think this song was just kind of like right getting towards A Night at the Opera. And it's just, I mean, Freddie on vocals and just the arrangement of the song. I just like can imagine people back in the early 70s listening to this, like you don't know what's coming next, and it's just, again, just amazing crafting, putting together a song. So yeah, for me it's high up there.
Very cool. All right, so you're up.
All right, so I guess it's my number 8. That's gonna be Scandal from The Miracle. Again,
just missed my list. Literally just missed my list. Yeah.
It is a later song of the band, but again, you listen to that and it's just incredible. I mean, regardless, yes, Freddie was dealing with a illness, but yet, like, just the sound. I think Queen, throughout the decades, just were able to somehow weave in like their sound and that yet make it sound fresh. And that song actually is about all the just, constant paparazzi and everybody like wanting to find out what was going on with Freddie. Also, Brian May was going through a divorce. And so I just love that they put out a song like that, like letting people know, what it feels like, and putting it in a song that just, I think, was a really, really good song, I think, from that album, from The Miracle. And that was, I think, 1989.
I think so. Yeah, you could just hear the frustration dripping off that song when they sing it. It's a great song.
And great music video. I really love it.
Yeah. All right. So it's number 7 for me. We had a match, All Dead. So I'll go to my number 6. Is Death on Two Legs off A Night at the Opera, the opener.
Nice. Missed my top 10.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Death on Two Legs. I just love this song. It's a perfect starter to a perfect album. And I love that it says in the liner notes, dedicated to, and it's just got a blank space so you could say fuck you to whoever you want. And that was the song whenever I was angry at anyone. All the way through my teen years, I would just listen to that album and just think of that person that pissed me off that day. It's just got so much anger in it, and it's just a perfect fuck you song, and I love it. So that's number 6 for me.
And of course, it's fitting that it's Freddie on vocals for that one. He just really had a knack for, sounding that anger kind of feeling. So, great one. That's a really good one. Nice. So, my number 7 is from the same album, and it's 39. Another one, which is sung by Brian May. Interesting, for those who don't know, he's an astrophysicist, and that's an interesting song that he applied some of the concepts of time into a song, and just
beautiful song, yeah.
Beautiful. Like, again, just I'll always speak so well about his voice, and just again, I can never get tired of listening to that song. So for me, that
was another one that was in my top 20. So it could have easily made the list. When I was making this list, so many of the songs that you've already said popped in and out of the top 10 and then made it into the teen area. And 39 was one of them. Just incredible song. All right, now I am on my number 5, which is Seven Seas of Rhye. And for a while, I said that Seven Seas of Rhye was my favorite Queen song. But now doing this anew, kind of dropped a little bit down my list, but still love it. Number 5. It was an instrumental off their first album, Queen, and the lyrics were added on Queen 2. I think it's the last song off Queen 2, and it's just, wow. Seven Seas of Rhye, I love it every time.
Nice.
Yep. Not on your list?
No. It's good.
All right. I thought we were getting greedy. What do we have? 2 matches so far, or 3? I think. No, 3, I think. Yeah, All
3.
Dead, March of the Black Queen, and Love of My Life. Wow, cool. Let's see if we can get to 4.
All right, so my number 6 is going to be It's Late from News of the World. Again, as you can see, there's a pattern. I do enjoy News of the World. You'll see where it fell on my list of albums.
Looking forward to that.
Again, stellar song, and I think for me, just missed my top 5, but again, great track.
And that actually also was in my teens, just missed my top 10. So we've got a lot of closeness here. All right. So I am on number 4, which is another Prague epic, and it's off of A Night at the Opera. Prophet song. Yep.
Sweet. Not on my list.
No? Come on, how could Prophet song be left off any top Queen songs? Written by Brian. Again, seems like a pattern. I seem to like the Brian written songs. It was written while he was very sick, and it's the longest Queen song with lyrics.
Wow.
A little fact there, but love the Prophet song from start to finish. Just an amazing. And off the album, it's the first song on the second side. So whenever I hear Night at the Opera, even if I put on the CD, I listen to it like a record. I remember the first side, second side, and just amazing.
He remembers using vinyl.
That's right, me. Although vinyl's back. It's been back for a while.
Yeah,
but.
definitely been making a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm on my number 3, and that's going to be Spread Your Wings from News of the World, written by bassist John Deacon. Love the piano playing in the beginning. The build-up of the song, great. It's interesting, Brian May's guitar playing is actually not his typical sounding. I know I've read somewhere that he definitely played a different type, and I think it goes well with the song. And I do have a thing for songs written by John Deacon. There's a bias there, but I do think that it's just, again, he wrote great songs, I think, just like the rest of the guys. John just really just knew how to put together these songs, and it was just so beautiful of a song. And I think that it's also one that really uplifts you when you hear it, for somebody who's maybe going through a tough time, and just kind of looking to the future and to be hopeful. And I just really think John captures that in those lyrics. So yeah, and I just love, Freddie singing it, music video, as we know, a great one. So yeah, that's my number 3.
Okay. So Spread Your Wings didn't make of course it made my top 10. It was my number 1 song.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Spread Your Wings, whenever we're like late at night and we're throwing on YouTube videos, I'm always like, we end the night with Spread Your Wings. Have to. Just an amazing song. I love the video. I love that they look pissed off because it's freezing cold in whose backyard? In Roger's backyard. Yeah, they look all pissed off, and that's part of the charm of the video. But the song is just an amazing song. Yes. Never get tired of Spread Your Wings. Number 1 for me.
Wow. Sweet.
All right, so our fourth match.
All right, and my number 2 is going to be... Is it my turn to go?
It's not, but you could go if you want.
Go ahead.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
All right. So my number 3 is Who Wants to Live Forever off of Kind of Magic. Yeah. Not on your list?
Not on
I didn't think so. I wouldn't think so. For me, Who Wants to Live Forever is a very personal song for me. Because a friend of mine, very close friend, my best friend, was murdered. And I listened to that song like hundreds of times for the weeks after I found out that he died. And it just, to me, is such a deep song and just speaks to me. So that's why it's number 3 for me. And A Kind of Magic was made for the film Highlander. And, again, I don't want to give anything away where I rank that album, but Who Wants to Live Forever is by far the best one for me off that album. So number 3.
Really good song. Powerful sound. Nice.
Yep.
So I'll go with my number 2.
Yep.
And that's going to be Somebody to Love from A Day at the Races. This is
I knew that was going to be on your list.
This is an Aretha Franklin inspired song. It's the band doing gospel. And of course, Freddie Mercury's vocals are just insanely amazing. Wow. That song, you just get chills like listening to it, I think. I love John Deacon's bass playing. Roger Taylor's drumming, amazing also. And just interesting that this is 4 British guys taking on gospel, and what a hell of a song. So again, really, hence why it's my number 2.
Wow, cool. Not on my list. To me, a little too. I know I say this about a lot of the bands that we do, but the songs that are just like played constantly and always in like on the radio, or I typically shy away from, or I get tired of them pretty easily. And that's one that I used to love, and it kind of faded for me after hearing it just hundreds of times. Plus, it's one of Steph's favorites, so I have to listen to it a lot. But good song, not in my top 20 or 30, I don't think, but good
and
choice.
All the songs, I've seen them play live, of course, on videos. This is, I think, one of
You wish you saw them live.
Oh, hell yeah. But this is one of my favorites, I think especially from Rock Montreal, that live version it just sticks with me. I think it's the best live version of that song, and I'm sure many people will probably say so many other concerts, but I mean, again, if you haven't watched that, please go. It's a great concert. So yeah, for me, that's why I picked it.
Okay, so I only have one more on my top 10 list, because my number 1, we had a match in Spread Your Wings. So my number 2 is Hammer to Fall off The Works.
Wow, another match. No
wow,
way.
okay.
Sweet.
Well, I knew, again, when you're with the number 1 Queen fan here, you kind of know which songs. I was going to be really shocked if you didn't have Hammer to Fall in your top 5. But yeah, off The Works. The Works was like the first album that I bought on my own, I think 1984. I remember going to the store, picking it up, and just listening to it till it like wore out. And Hammer to Fall, blown away. Just a kick-ass, awesome rock song. And I'll let you say what you want about it, but
like John said, it is a rockin' song. I mean, it really is just electric. Again, the powerful lyrics and the Freddie Mercury's voice. It's actually written by Brian May, and there are some interpretations about what the song is, references to, I believe, the
Cold War, I think.
Also.
Yeah, it was a Cold War time, Russia versus U.S., and, to me it talked about the fear of nuclear bombs and the world ending, and, that was really in the forefront of everyone's mind. Not very different than what we're going through in these kind of crazy endgame times. But yeah, Hammer to Fall touched on that for sure.
But the song's actually written about when it's a person's time to die, when the Grim Reaper, which is what Brian May said. So again, very interesting for a song that just makes you want to move, and just is again really, really electric. Yet it's about a topic that could be tough to think about. But again, I think it just shows Queen in the 80s just, again, they were amazing, fantastic, just what they put out. So yeah, Hammer and Fall is my number one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go. Again, I knew it was going to be in your top 5, but number 1, wow, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so Hammer and Fall, definitely our favorite between the two of us, because number 1 and number 2 for us. Wow. Very cool. So I'm just looking over real quick. It looks like I only had 2 of the Queen songs that were from the 80s, and all the rest were the 70s. I don't know how you break down between 70s and 80s, but...
Yeah, I had a good amount of the 70s, which I think was interesting, going back and listening to all the albums. You know, I thought I would be more 80s. I really did. But that's really interesting, and that's the thing about music. It's just, you just don't know. From week to week, it changes.
That's right.
I do want to
Any other ones you want to?
Just want to mention a few. I think Liar is great from their first album. Tear It Up is another one. The Millionaire Waltz is great.
Mm-hmm.
Let Me Entertain You is great. And of course, Killer Queen is just classic Queen song. Yeah, so for me, those are some extras I really wanted to mention.
Okay, so I'm going to name a couple that I don't think we mentioned in my top 20. Under Pressure.
Ah, yeah.
I mean,
Great one.
amazing. That really came close, father to son.
Sweet.
Let's see. I think you mentioned... Did you mention Keep Yourself Alive?
No, another
No?
great one.
I had that right there. It's Late, you said. I Want to Break Free.
Another one from the works.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, an amazing one from the work. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Queen fans. Hope you enjoyed this. Let us know what you think. Any final words?
Take care.
All right, and check out the when we do the album list. We'll do that next.
See ya.